bedtime story.
Hello out there. Can you hear me? Welcome back to yet another session of our trusty D&D campaign, Scouring the Scorched Continent, here on Jokes, Tales, and Critical Fails. Sorry for the holdup. We were just getting a couple of last-minute level-up details squared away for the start of our session. If there are none left from my players, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Anything else, guys, before we go and dive in? What's that?
Do you have the winning lotto numbers?
I do not.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to share it with you guys. Well, before we go ahead and get started, this is just one of a number of sessions I have available on startplaying.games. If you want to check us out on there, you can join a number of different available D&D campaigns, which are available for pay to play. Here we are doing our Scouring the Scorched Continent campaign. We also have another one we stream tomorrow, Woes of the Wildland, and our Road to Unterville campaign is just getting underway this upcoming week, along with 5 others which are available to get rolling at your leisure. So go ahead and check us out there. You can check that and more out on my link tree, which if you type !link into the chat, you'll pull that up. You can also type !story setting or party to get any of the information of the current adventure. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started this evening. Well, our heroes last time on Scouring the Scorched Continent, after solving the murder of a local noble in the town of Agressa, our party had been hired by a high general in the Rakeshian military. He had tasked you all with heading out into the Mirhan desert to find a cult of drug-peddling ne'er-do-wells and overthrow the faction altogether. As you guys set out on your journey, you were eventually confronted by this band of addicted cultists, and they brought you back under the guise of addicts yourself. You infiltrated the cult and became one of their members. Whilst you all were under careful scrutiny from the leaders of the cult, you proved yourselves members by standing up against a band of marauding sand pirates who had attacked the compound. As you all were out working the field and the sand skiffs came sailing over the sides of the dunes of your Violet Night compound, you all sprung into action and diligently laid them all to rest. Now you all have been awarded rest, turning in for a night of merriment, and then, of course, well-needed rest. You each have turned in and reached level 3. As you all have proved yourself worthy amongst the cult, you have now been deemed trustworthy, and many of you, all of you, have been given a spot amongst the cult. Some of you alchemists set to work amongst the lab and prepare the drug Viraka. Some of you deemed enforcers worthy of keeping the grounds of the Violet Night compound, and some of you deemed the mysterious keepers in training, a sect of masked and hooded cultists who seems hold more mysteries than known conclusions about them, as last time you saw them in action, once struck heavily by swords in battle, it seems the keepers dissolved into a mass of bees which swarmed their assailants. Now, as you guys slumber through the night, many of you awaken the next day by a banging on the door and shouts from the other side. Wake up, wake up. Your first day amongst the cult is about, and you're expected to report to your respective leaders. Hurry and make your beds. You're expected out of your room in the next 10. You hear footsteps leave the door. You all are currently housed in the compound of the Violet Knight. Each of you are still sharing a room, the recruit's room, with a number of other recruits. The recruit, which all of you do know by Brother Kaladin, does not seem present in the room at the moment. It seems Sister Lyra is already preparing her stuff and making her bed for the morning, as Brother Mohad, who seems recently injured, his leg seems heavily wrapped. I'm sorry, his leg is heavily wrapped, and it seems to be gravely injured as he does not put any form of weight on it whatsoever. You can assume he sustained this injury at some point during the battle yesterday. Also in the room, Sister Tomorrow is already donning her violet robes and heading out as a keeper in training. And Brother Raj is tending a number of wounds and scrapes caused by some sort of sword. You can see he has a large cut on his shoulder, which he is currently changing the bandages of atop his already made bed in the morning. You all, as you wake up this morning, what are you doing? Resounding silence, I see. Wonderful.
No, we all unmuted at the same time, okay? Like...
Got it. Real quick, shout out to Icarus Reads and DD Meow Games for the follows. But yeah, what are you...
Can you remind us what our jobs are?
You have been placed as an enforcer, Oberon, along with B45. You have been, Brother Tassar, the leader of the enforcers, and Sister Kira did call you into their room late last evening and deem you all worthy for positions amongst the different factions. Brother Tassar has taken you as well as B45. As well as Fume and B45 under his wing. However, that's just for some training purposes until Kaldin has use for you, Oberon. You've proved yourself quite useful as an enforcer for the time being, and since now the enforcers are undermined, Brother Tassar, undermanned, Brother Tassar said, they could use your help at the moment. You are still being viewed as a runner by Brother Kaldin. However, those sand pirates did a number. Everybody else, particularly Hoffs as well as Avery, has been deemed an alchemist, or at least of astute enough mind to be an alchemist, while our good friend Ignacio was targeted as a keeper. However, before leaving the room of Sister Kira, head of the keepers, she did have a private word to share with Ignacio. One that made clear she's aware of the ties that he holds, and that they would have to be severed to eventually progress as a keeper.
What was it, Sister who?
Sister Kira is the head of the keepers. Brother Tassar is the head of the enforcers, and Brother Kaldin, not to be confused with Brother Kaladin, I'm realizing how similar those are, and I'm sorry. Caldon, Caldon, is the foreman of the mines and head of the runners. He is operator of the business side of this cult. But yeah, you guys have the room to yourselves. Well, not to yourselves, I'm sorry. It's still currently filled with a couple of the other new recruits, but they quickly do start to hurry, get their stuff together, and head out. They linger for about 5 minutes, though. Are you guys doing anything?
Follow suit. Clean up. Get up. Stretch.
I
Fix my
would.
bed.
Wait, hold on.
Caledon is the head of the alchemists, right?
Sorry, Caldon is head of the Foremans. The alchemists, the head of the alchemist is Brother Emus. You guys had a brief meeting with. He is the Merfolk that you had met with.
The last question, Caledon, is who?
So Caldon is
Caldon.
Caldon is the Caladin is the young, he's a young half elf man. He's the one who was showing you how to farm, and then he got gutted in the combat. And he is currently not in the room. He seems to be under some sort of medical attention at the moment. He did not come to the room last night. But yeah, free range to do what you'd like.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to take notes of.
No, you're good. I'm not gonna complain about somebody taking notes.
And then sharing it so everybody knows.
So I'm gonna leave my familiar in the room.
Okay.
And basically just ask it to kind of keep watch over our stuff. I don't want it to intervene if anybody like rummages through things, but I want it to just keep a note if anybody does.
Okay. No problem.
I'm gonna make my bed.
Okay. You do so. Everybody else does so. Of the other recruits, I am assuming that's part of the routine of most of the people in here, unless told otherwise.
So, sister, the one that is a keeper, can I see where she goes? Because I know she hung out at the hall, and then she waited there.
She is the first one to leave. So if you follow her as soon as she leaves, as soon as you guys are woken up and you hear that knock on the door, she is basically almost out the door. So if you want to head out right away with her, you can. Otherwise, she's going to head out first.
I don't want to break up the party, so I'll just wait here and see what everybody else does.
Okay.
But if that's what her normal routine is, then I guess I'm fine. Yeah.
She seems to be the most astute, or at least astute timed. She is first out the door out of anybody of the recruits. Okay. Soon after is Sister Lyra.
Can I smell breakfast?
There is, yes, you do smell breakfast being prepared. And as soon as you guys do leave the room or see the door opened, you do see the common rooms just outside the recruits area is quite busy at the moment. People are waking up, exchanging words, laughing, and then they are heading out the stairs upwards, where you can see a pair of keepers are already waiting, standing at attention, velvet pillow in hand, and viraka being distributed to individuals who pass. You can see that as they head up to the dining area, they each are given a viraka.
Take my half dose.
Okay. So you keep saying take your half dose. So you just take out your
half. I give half to the doll, and then I give half to myself.
Okay, so you are taking a vial.
Yes,
Okay.
I will roll for it.
Okay, yeah, roll. Everybody has to roll.
Fortunately, I am of small stature, so I don't think that matters that I do this.
Oh, wait, QUIR.
So yeah, if you guys are just doing nothing and just preparing for the day and heading up to grab food and whatnot, then speak up. But I do need you guys to say something.
I have a question.
Yes.
So prestidigitation says I can create an illusory image that can fit in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that I can say, hey, I already have my bottle, and then make it disappear?
Yes, but I mean, you could possibly try. I mean, prestidigitation does. Prestidigitation still does need casting. So the idea is you're still casting a spell, which is verbal and somatic components. So you'd have to properly hide verbally saying a spell as well as.
Can I do the cough thing?
Point is, you can try.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the process of casting a spell to create the illusion and then hiding it all within, right, the guise of the spell. But yeah, it would be a sleight of hand check, nonetheless. True game master and okay.
What?
So yeah, we're gonna take our Baraka before breakfast. As we enter the hall.
Well, Ignacio walks out. You watch Ignacio grab one. If anybody else is not, do let me know.
I'll take one.
Okay. And are you heading up to go eat? What are you doing? Guys, I need something. Hello.
I'm going to eat.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got that from Marinus a number of times.
Yeah.
Okay. So you each take a Varaka. Please go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. Or not if you've come up with some sort of sleight of hand. Avery, I see yours there. Go ahead and put it in chat so I can see it.
Oh, God.
Constitution 10.
It's a good day for you, Hoffs.
It's going great already.
Yay, Hoffs.
Hoffs, you failed the check, please.
Really? I'm shocked.
No.
How could you?
Shocked, I tell you.
That's impossible. It's
Non.
golf rules, right?
I thought the DC was 5.
I'm missing some. Oh, Oberon 10. There it is. Okay, cool.
Right.
Oberon, you feel
you?
the. Yeah, I didn't hear you say that. You said something.
Oh.
It might have just passed over me. I don't know. Nonetheless, you also feel a warm tingling in your body that you're quite used to by this point, Oberon. And you start heading up. You start heading up to the food. It smells particularly sweet as usual, and I mean, you've had some yesterday. It does taste sweet as well. Large hints of honey within the food that you guys eat. Go ahead and make me a perception check, Oberon, at advantage because of it involves smelling, and at disadvantage though from the Varaka. So straight.
All right. Perception?
Yes.
16.
Okay. This food is weird to you. Now that you've eat it here this morning. It's not that it tastes bad. It's got plenty of flavor within it, and it's quite flavorful. But you also being a little bit astute with cooking in general, you can tell that none of the flavor comes from the meat that is within it. All of the flavor comes from any sort of additives within the sauce. The meat is very rough, very gamey, really easy for you to chew, being a pear, but it's not the best quality meat, you can tell for sure.
This is human invaders.
Is it so it's just filled with a bunch of spices?
There are quite a few spices in there, mostly sweetening spices. And you can definitely taste honey in it, which you like honey.
I mean, I don't mind the taste because it doesn't seem bad, but people are probably getting tired of this all the time. This is like dessert.
You can also make a nature check for me, based off of that perception.
All right. -2.
-2? Yeah, you don't.
No. 5. I have a -2
Okay,
for
yeah.
intelligence. So
Yeah,
5.
you're not really sure what meat this is, but I mean, you're never sure what kind of meat you're eating, really.
With all the sweetness, it just doesn't seem like right. It's just too much spices.
Yeah, there's too much flavor for you to actually know what's underneath it, what's coating, or what kind of meat it is. You just get like overwhelmed by sweetness with just a little bit of savor.
But it's not the right spices, is what I'm saying.
No.
Somebody's combining the wrong stuff, but they know how to cook, so it's not bad.
I would say you could tell with that check. You can tell that whoever's cooking is just trying to mask the quality of meat. Like it is not proficient cooking for anything else. It seems like the biggest focus is to mask whatever is underneath.
You think you can do better, Oberon?
Probably. with cook's utensils?
Yeah, you probably could do better. I mean, I'll say you've met Sister, I'm drawing a blank, 1 second. You have met Sister Otari, who is the Luxodon woman who is a cook.
Right.
You watched her in the kitchen very briefly. She seems to know what she's doing. She seems to know, like, she knows what she's doing with a set of cooking utensils. But you've made better dishes than this for sure. Hands down. You'd have to get a hand on their like ingredients to know for sure if you could do better. But yeah, you've made better than this.
We'll have to look into that after we deal with the enforcer stuff.
All right, sounds
What it
good.
seems like.
Amen to that.
Well, as you're eating and as you say that, coming up from behind you with a pat on the back, you hear Tassar's loud, booming voice reach out. Are you ready for some sparring today? Your friend is eager to go. And you see off to one side, Bastion is just polishing his weapon, sets it off, his trident, sets it off against the wall and just starts like limbering up different parts of his body, stretching them and almost impossibly bending parts of his arms and legs to get them into fighting action. Your friend is starting today off by showing us what he's got. He's got quite the ego, that Bastion.
Oh, is he fighting somebody?
Um,
That guy. Right, because isn't he's fighting one of the enforcers?
yesterday he you would know he did speak to Tsar about testing the enforcer's metal, basically seeing like one-on-one, seeing how many he can take, and it seems today's energy throughout the dining area is a number of other enforcers seem to be like eyeing him down from across the I'm trying to avoid saying cafeteria here, but
The
dining hall.
the dining hall, and
You have that's what you have it labeled as.
yeah, no, I know. But it essentially, with all the different factions and cliques, it essentially is a cafeteria right now, as there are different tables of, like, you can see some alchemists sitting together, as well as some of the all of the new recruits seem to be sat at another table, while some of the helpers are sat elsewhere. And as the other enforcers kind of eat their meal off at one table, you can see a couple of them are doing like stretches and limbering up for the bouts up ahead. Tsar continues though. With the look on his face, I think many of my men are sweating. Not to mention we saw you all in action yesterday. It could be interesting, but he's decided to take me on afterwards, and well, we'll see how that goes. Tsar cracks his knuckles as he stands in front of you.
As I'm like chowing down. Ooh, this is gonna be a good fight.
As the meal goes on, I will say, you do see. Sorry, one second.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting my hands a little dirty.
Okay. In what sense? Like, do you want to take on your own group of enforcers, or what do you say?
Well, he wanted to train us as enforcers, so I'm definitely going to be watching.
Okay,
I want to see how they fight.
gotcha. In that case,
But if your guys can't take him down, I can always try.
Oh,
Again.
I think after my boys try, it's only fitting I give a crack at it.
Oh, of course. You first.
As you guys finish up meal here, you do see a number of people washing it down with their vial of Viraka. Sorry, I need to pull up some stats here real quick. The day does slowly spring into action, though, as it seems breakfast is finished up. A number of enforcers do start to flock out to the front of the pyramid, where you see that pit that was previously dug the other day for you is now widened out even further to about 10 feet on all sides. There, the enforcers begin to circle and talk amongst themselves. You can see the keepers, ever since the beginning of the day, have already been in their motions. Usually tasked with keeping an eye on everybody. There's usually at least 2 to 3 keepers to a room that you would walk into, should somebody be residing in. And as the dining hall becomes active and then less active, keepers do flock in and then out to stand amongst the workers in the field and also the enforcers that are training out front of the ziggurat. It seems wherever some activity is going on, an enforcer is also there to observe. As the dining hall wraps up their meals, however, also a number of people begin to stand up, all similarly clad in the black robes that everybody seems to don. A small group of recognizable alchemists do gather to one side of the dining hall, where it leads down into the hallway and then later further deeper into the ziggurat. As they kind of gather. You watch as one says to another and motions back toward the dining hall. And running up toward you, you do see a cloaked and hooded Sister Lyra approach Avery as well as Hoffs as you guys finish up your meal. I was told to fetch you two. I believe Brother Emus has informed us you're joining us today.
Yup. And I'll get up and ready to follow them. I'll look at Pops like, let's get going.
Yeah. What's Sister Lyra thinking? Is it just fetching people? Is she just kind of focused on the task, or is she nervous about something?
Make an insight check at disadvantage. Viraka makes you cloudy minded, which makes you easier to deceive, which makes insight checks disadvantage.
9.
It's hard to tell what she's thinking. Lots of pretty lights flying above her head. You're like one of those guys at a festival who somebody walks up with the light whips and starts, whoa. No, I mean it's pretty muted activity, nothing excited or anything like that. You would be able to tell, but you guys are fetched, and as a group, this sort of clique starts to head down the hallway. They reach that iron door, which sits at that fork at the end of this narrow hallway, where it leads down one direction to the common area. It leads down another direction past the iron door. However, one of the alchemists to the front pulls out a ring of keys and begins to unlock the door as you all approach. Beyond it is a narrow set of stairs which lead down into a larger chamber, which you have all seen once before. And as you are let in, sitting at the bottom of the stairs sits a smiling merfolk, looking up at you in a black robe, which kind of just sits like a lab coat just over his shoulders, open to see his attire underneath. He greets you all with a smile, with a pair of spectacles resting upon his snout. As you all come down, oh yes, wonderful. Are you excited for your first day with us here in the alchemy lab?
Yes, very much so.
So excited! I'm just, so excited.
Well, come with me. Walk. We'll just have some brief things to discuss while everybody goes and gets started. Yes, everybody to your stations. Go on. He starts just scurry everybody about, and then you watch as they quickly just kind of get to their business. As they walk, they kind of walk down this narrow set of stairs, which leads to this large vaulted chamber where, the vats are stored at the back of the laboratory. And as it opens up and they reach the bottom of the stairs, you watch all the cloaked alchemists kind of just fan out and begin work at the various tables which line the wall down here. A number of them start to walk toward the back, where they start to put on these large leather aprons, which kind of they sit over the shoulders, leaving this like large leather pauldron-like shape to it, and then it casts downward in front of their robes, just an entire leather smock which covers most of their exposed front. As each dons these large aprons, they start to climb the apparatus surrounding the 10, almost 15-foot vats which make up the back of the room, and they grab these large sticks leaned up to the side and begin to stick them in. You can see each large pole is almost like a paddle, where about 8 feet or so of it is this flat side, which seems to be weathered or worn in waterlogged in a way, and as they stick it and submerge it deep within the purple pools of the Viraka vats, they slowly begin to move it back and forth, and in one motion they swing it around and push it to the other side of the vat, where another cloaked alchemist waits to catch the rod and spin it around the vat to the other side, where they loose it, and the first cultist is ready to catch it once more. It seems two alchemists at a time wait on either side of each vat, on a sort of ladder like scaffolding on either side, where they receive a paddle to stir the Viraka and send it upon its way. These two cultists to each vat just walk into the room and begin their process as if scheduled. As you watch this kind of synchronicity take place, Brother Emus turns to you two, Avery and Hoffs, and clasps his hands together. Well, my name, of course, Brother Emus. We have met once before. I have heard incredible things that took place yesterday. I've found myself locked away in my lab. Didn't get to see much of what went on outside, but I've heard stories. Spellcasters, the lot of you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Where did you study? He looks at you, Hoffs.
On the name of the city, yeah. It was
Karev.
right?
Karev.
Karev.
Oh.
Yeah,
Someone comes from wealth, then, I assume. Or
some degree.
ooh, well, how did you find yourself in with this lot?
As I have told many a time at this point, school is stressful, and Baraka was a way to relieve some stress, and then, while coming over here, I just kind of came across these people.
He chuckles. Ha! A familiar story. I've heard that one before. And he gestures back to the room of alchemists who currently work at various tables along the side. And you, little one, you study magic. He leans in.
Yes, but it was more clerical. It was in a church.
Oh, well, we just need sharp minds here. So if you can learn, then I need your hands on deck.
Yes, sir.
Did you study magic yourself, Brother Amos?
Yes, I actually studied at Karev as well. I'm an alchemist. Was for many years. And well, I found a use for my trade. It does some good. I admit I could have put my skills to use in the medical trade, I'm sure, but in a way, I've lived in the Red Empire long enough to know people need a break from time to time. And, well, Our Lady wants to give them that.
How much does he like, is he trying to make excuses for what he's doing? Is he kind of disappointed in himself?
Go ahead and make an insight check again for me.
Disadvantage again, I assume?
May I also make those insight checks? I'm like,
Yes.
yeah.
Alright.
If you... Well, no, I'll say you can't give help because he already has advantage.
Yeah, 'cause I thought he has this advantage. Yeah.
9 again.
Ooh, that's a nice number. What's the I have good insight. That's crazy. 24.
Well,
Natural 19.
good job.
Thank you. I got you.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what am I saying? Hoffs doesn't have advantage, so you can grant him
Yes,
advantage
I
or
know.
do yours separate.
I did myself.
They already
Okay,
did
yeah,
theirs,
no
that's
problem.
it.
We like the number.
So you rolled another 9, Hops.
It's a 6 and then a 9 and then a 9, and we're having a great.
This one, more accurately, you are quite entranced by the pretty lights. What did you roll, Avery?
24.
24. You can tell he had this story on lock, Avery. He was ready to justify what he's doing here almost to a T when brought up the fact that he studies magic. Yeah, he
was there like a little look in his eye, like
his
a little bit.
His hands, which were already like clasped in front of his himself like this, begins like kind of like fiddling with his nails as he starts to talk. He doesn't look at his hands, but you can see them fidgeting. You, Hoffs, you don't see that. You just see the lights dancing above him, and are fixed on that, forgetting to gather information from them and watch their patterns.
Does he like not meet our eyes when he tells us this?
It's slightly, a little bit. Like he's a pretty good liar, you'll say. Like he's practiced this a number of times, so he does make your he does meet your eyes a number of times, but he looks away a lot, which from time to time briefly, which is not a sign of ease. Look, it's not that he's not telling the truth.
He's just not proud necessarily.
Yes, he's just racked with a lot of emotion as he does. But yeah, he continues. I, of course, do get the opportunity to practice my trade more and more, and if you are looking for opportunities to do so, this is it. Now,
is there?
Yes.
Sorry, I was wondering if there was any research you were doing outside of the production of Baraka, since you're so academically inclined.
I, of course, do my own research in my own lab, and he gestures to his room. As the day goes about, but that is, most of my time is focused in making Viraka as potent and safe as possible.
Understood.
And I'll say, going off that same insight check, he still seems to be telling the truth. However, racked with guilt as he doesn't. Now, there's not much for you guys to do just yet. We like to start you off easy, if you will. I'll have you shadow some of our alchemists while they work at their stations, but that will be but for a short time, for the time being, of course. I think where we need you most is manning our vats, and he motions to the vats behind him. We lost a few hands yesterday, not as many as some others. He looks up the stairs, but a few. And, well, for the first few hours of the day, they were scheduled to do some mixing. So if you wouldn't mind, he'll walk up to one of the individuals who is stirring the pot by himself at the moment, and he'll motion for them to come down and start to take off their apron. You two, stand on one side, you to the other. We'll get you an extra rung. And you watch as he like starts to the cultist who's stepping down like grabs a piece of wood from the leaning up the nearby pile in the corner and starts to lash it to the scaffolding that's on the side, just so you can stand just a bit higher than where he was. Avery.
Thanks. Thank you.
And I'm worried my computer will go to sleep and you guys will lose connection to the server. Shit. Are you guys still connected to the server?
I'm in, as far as I can tell.
Okay, well, brief moment. Okay, cool.
Your
I
ball
was dropped.
connection
Yeah.
reestablished.
Sorry about that, mostly Marinus, who's playing from a potato. While this is going on, and you guys begin do you take the do you do as he says? Do you take the roll and start to stir Viraka?
Yeah.
I mean, he'll
back and forth that we witnessed.
Yes, exactly. And you stand on one side of this large vat as Hoff stands on, and essentially you guys stir it on one side and then push it to the other side where it drifts with the motion of the vat into the hands of the other. It's fairly simple, and you see, like, as you begin to push it, you kind of are just picking up momentum. Yeah, you're picking up the rhythm of the last guy who's already started the motion of the ocean.
Yeah, you know what beefcakes me and Hoffs are.
Yes, this is the fun thing. I will need athletics checks from you. Based on these athletics checks, I will need a Constitution saving throw.
I knew it was coming, and I just reloaded it. Let me get the child up.
All right, let's see.
Athletics, boy, what you got, buddy? I got a -1.
Oh no.
You too, huh?
I got a 15.
Oh,
nice.
I got a 16.
Nice. I don't need Constitution saving throws from either of you. As you guys begin to work, and you do feel it was easy. It is very easy. It was not going to be a hard check, but I know with two athletics
savants
over here, that's still like is just a roll of the die. But yeah, no, it's no trouble whatsoever. You guys begin work, and I'm talking for a couple of hours. You guys just pass this back and forth, and it is mind-numbing work. You just kind of sit back and receive the rod and then push it along the way and then wait back. But Hoffs, you are quite content as you do. You just kind of watch the swirling of this pink liquid, this violet liquid in the pool in front of you. It is pink at the center, and the pink kind of swirls in, and with hints of red within, mixing into the sort of blue liquid. It's just like mesmerizing as you stare down, and you get hit with the rod for a second. You stammer and then send it back along, and then you receive it again, and you just kind of like are staring into the circling pool of Viraka, which is quite mesmerizing as you do so. And Avery, as you do so, you watch Hoffs do that, as well as some of the other nearby alchemists. They kind of just stare into the pool as they stir the vats.
Is there like anything to hear in the background, or is it just like the sound of just us stirring?
No, I mean it is quiet. It's fairly quiet in here. You are right. But that being said, you do hear Brother Emus from time to time talking with some of the alchemists, making corrections here, there, and various comments. If you want to try to listen to specifically what you hear, go ahead and make.
I would love to.
Go for it.
Come on, dice I haven't used that. Also be nice. You little shit. It's a 1.
Oof. A 1? A 1?
A 1.
Okay. You don't hear anything for the first hour you're doing. But seeing that you do stay quite astute and awake and not exhausted, I'll let you make another one in an hour or so toward the end of your shift.
Be nice to me.
While that's going on, the enforcers are playing out in the field. Does that sound belittling when I say it like that?
Well, I don't know if
they're frolicking.
That's pretty funny.
For B45 to come back.
He's gonna be gone all session. I've already done roles for him. You are not going to fight B45, as he has a number of. No. I know. It's just you wanted to, as you've got some new skills, you're raring to show off to your friend. You don't have the opportunity to, because it seems with all of the boasting B45 has been doing around the ziggurat, and the pot, so to say, that Tassar has been stirring, pun totally intended, seems B45 has quite a number of combatants lined up ready to take him. And he quite literally has a line of people ready to fight. So, of the 8 enforcers, what was that? Time market? Sorry. Of the 8 enforcers that are currently out amongst you guys right now, 4 are ready and lined up ready to face him. Check some rolls I had him do for me before the session because I was prepared. I just need to pull up his stats. Okay. Ooh. Jesus. He. Okay. You watch, Oberon, as over the course of the next hour, Bastion proceeds to wipe the floor with these enforcers. He does take a number of hits, whilst some fairly brutal hits whilst he's dueling with these guys. You do know, however, Tassar has removed any opportunity of unfair advantage B45 might have had with his weapons, equipping both the enforcers as well as your friend with cudgels. They all seem to swing at each other with reinforced sticks out in the desert air this evening. Squared up against the first enforcer raring to take him down, you watch as this young man charges at B45 as B45 stands at the ready. And as he drops his shoulder as the man comes in, you watch as Bastion takes the blow readily on like his spine, on his back, leaning low and taking the blow in. You watch as the enforcer leans in over Bastion, and Bastion takes a step forward, running his shoulder into the gut of this man and forcing him from his feet quickly onto his back. There, Bastion stands over him, and with 3 quick strikes, clubs the man nearly unconscious. As he goes to stand up, weary and hard of breath, you watch as Bastion sweeps out his leg from underneath him and strikes him one more time until he is no longer moving. A large number of cheers are let out, and one of the men who lined up to face Bastion slyly steps out of line. The second man, however, squares up to B45 and, readying his cudgel, charges at B45 first once more. Blocking the first few strikes, you can see this enforcer is a little bit more adept with a cudgel, landing 2 blows which cause B45 to stammer back. However, as B45 falls to one knee after taking a number of strikes, the assailant moves in for a wind-up blow, and taking a step back, you watch as he readies himself and steps forward to strike B45 on the back of the head. However, B45 ducks and causes the man to slip off foot, and as he is unkiltered, B45 quickly stands up and strikes with his offhand underneath the chin of this man, and you hear a crack come from the individual's face. As the man falls back, B45 swipes with his offhand, hitting him with his cudgel and causing him to rear backwards. B45 readies himself for another blow. And before it can come, the man turns and charges at B45, where he manages to push the enforcer off of him and quickly strike down twice with his cudgel. The man, still standing, spits blood at the foot of B45. And as he goes to come in to strike him, you hear the clang of metal on B45 as B45 takes a similar strike, aiming low and slamming with a thud his cudgel into the gut of this enforcer. Both of them keel over at the identical time, both taking a large hit, which sounds out into the desert. And as they both keel over for a brief moment, you watch as the enforcer falls to the ground in a heap. The crowd cheers once more, and the third individual steps up, ready to face B45.
Auto shutdown cancelled.
As he steps up, you watch as he points the cudgel toward your friend. You may have made quick work of those two, but this time, I'll turn you into parts. And he readies his cudgel as B45 also readies his. Both of them stand for a brief moment waiting for the other to move. They just kind of circle back and forth until B45 this time charges in for the strike. As he comes running in, you watch as B45 raises his cudgel up high to strike with what you assume to be a leaping blow downwards. But as he jumps into the air, you watch as B45 brings up his knee quickly into the chin of this man, leaping forward about 5 feet. A very athletic move, which causes B45 to get quite literally the jump on his opponent. He forces the man to the ground as B45 stands atop, and as he spins around, he makes a low strike into the gut of the man as he tries to roll away. The enforcer quickly does roll and get back to his feet, and quickly picking up his cudgel, he comes charging in at B45, who quickly drops his cudgel and goes to reach for the man's arms. Grabbing them both overhead as they link arms, you watch as B45 bends and nearly snaps the wrist of this man, causing him to drop the cudgel to the ground. And once again, B45 brings up his knee into the gut of this man. He keels over the enforcer, and B45 leans down at the same time to pick up the cudgel that the enforcer dropped, and taking a step back, he brings a swing upwards from underneath, clocking the man clean in the forehead as he was keeled over, causing him to fly backwards and lay flat, unmoving in the desert air. As both of them, as B45 stands over the unmoving enforcer, he looks down and stands up straight, turning toward Tassar now, with a few dents visible across his body. He simply speaks out calmly. Do any of your other men wish to take me on? Tassar chuckles. Well, does any of you wish to take him on? Or are you all chicken shit? Chicken shit it is then. Well, B45, do you still wish to take me on? You watch as B45 holds up a hand. Can you give me a few minutes? I would like to face you on even grounds. I suppose, but what will we do in the meantime? He looks to his men, turns toward Fume and Oberon. Would you like to get a piece of these? And he then, looking at you, Oberon, motions to his men, who you can see the 5 of them who were standing around. One of them, like, slightly, like, inching behind the other 4, to avoid being singled out.
I'm ready, but your men don't seem ready.
I will make them ready. I've got a couple on backup. We can spare a few. Go ahead, Oberon, if you do want to take them on. Do you accept the challenge?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me 3 checks then as well. I'll do it the same way I did for Bastion, so it's fair. Go ahead and make 3 checks for me. An athletics check, a performance check, and a constitution check.
Okay, so athletics, performance, and constitution. Let's. Athletics was 22.
Oh shit.
And then what was it? What was it? Athletics.
Performance and constitution. It's a constitution saving throw. So if you have proficiency, you can.
Performance was 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
Was the performance? Okay.
And then constitution was 8.
Got it. Okay. Second here. Well, with the last 5 untouched, Tassar begins to line them up on the other side of the pit, one after another. The guy who's standing behind the other 4 is like stuck, moved from the back of the line and stuck in the center of it, by Tassar. And as the bouts get ready, many of the individuals you've squared up to look nervous. However, the first guy who steps up cracks his knuckles confidently and picks up his cudgel. What weapons are you using?
I'm just going to use my fists.
Okay. You crack your knuckles and put them up in front of him. And taking the opportunity to attack first, he comes charging in with his cudgel. And before he can even bring it down atop your head, you make 3 clean strikes to the face of this individual. First one stunning him for a brief second, causing him to be dazed and confused, still holding the cudgel up above his head. The second one coming in as fast as the third, and with a quick left and right hook, you cause his head to quickly whiplash both left and right before he falls back, cudgel still held above his head, kicking up dirt on either side of him as he falls. Tassar sits for a second, eyes wide, looking back at the other 4 individuals lined up, and his face just turns into a wide grin before he pushes the second one into the ring. And the second one readies his cudgel timidly in 2 arms, and he stands there waiting for you to make the first move.
How far away from me is he?
He's about 10 feet.
I mean, I think I'd probably throw a radiant bolt at this guy.
You got it. Yes, you would. With a performance check like that, you simply ready your 2 fists in front of him, and as you close your eyes, he stands there confused, thinking to charge in. You just wait there, now setting your feet together in an unready pose. You still hold your hands out like this, bringing one fist back to your side. You just stand with your eyes closed. The entire time, the surrounding audience is silent, and the guy stands at the ready with his cudgel. He takes a timid step forward, timid step back, then a couple steps forward. All the while, you do not move, your eyes closed. And as he begins to take a charge forward, you bring your fist forward and fire a radiant bolt at him, which hits him square in the chest and causes him to stammer. But looking confident as he withstood the attack, he begins to charge in fully. And as he does, you fall to your back and push out your leg, kicking him in the chest and forcing him from the ground over top, slamming him into the ground on the other side of you. You quickly roll to your feet, turn about, and slam your fist down on his head, knocking him unconscious in an instant. The third enforcer in line starts to run. He is going to take off, and before he can even get 10 feet away, you just watch Tassar throw a cudgel, and it hits the enforcer in the back of the head, and he kind of stammers and just continues to run into the pyramid, or into the ziggurat. Tassar laughs. Ha! He is a chicken shit. I'll have him shoveling the latrines this week.
I'm not even hitting him that hard.
The third or fourth one steps in at the ready. Charging in, he comes at you first. You put up your hand to block the first blow. However, he is quite strong, and he forces it past your hand, and it clobbers you in the shoulder. Okay. 1 second. Okay. As he goes in to strike for the second blow, you strike him twice in the chest, which knocks the wind out of him. However, he brings a blow in to hit you in the gut with much less force this time, as he seems to have much less energy now that the wind is knocked out of him. As he readies to strike you a third time, he brings down his cudgel across the face of you, just as you bring an uppercut across his jaw. And in the same moment, you feel the blood spurt from your face as you feel it leave his. However, he no longer stands and falls to the ground. This one, now getting quite a number of blows on you, confidently, the fourth and last contestant steps into the ring. He is going to ready his cudgel and come in at you. Do you want to do anything on the last gentleman? I'll say with, what did you roll, an 18 performance check?
It was...
That's what I have here.
No, it was, first one was athletics, and then it was...
Yeah, the
16.
athletics was 22. The performance I have
It was
18 here.
16.
Oh, was it 16 performance? Nonetheless.
Oh, it was,
Nonetheless, 16 performance, I'll still let you end the last guy any which way you like.
well, that's what I was just looking at something real fast. Because I'm bad. What is it? When you attack, you take an extra attack. When you use an attack, you make one over strike. Yeah, it's just 2 attacks. It's using the key. Did you have me use my key points?
Well, do you have to use a key point to fire that blast?
I do not.
I wasn't going to use up any of your key points then.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, sorry, that's not true. I was going to get to that on the third point. But how many key points do you have in total?
3.
3?
Yeah. I think you had me. I think you had me use one of them though with a double attack.
I mean,
Or a triple attack.
narratively, I'm just fitting this in. It's not necessarily a triple attack, but I will say 2 key points have been used. I just rolled a d4 for it. Also, you have taken 15 points of damage, and unless you had like a special way you wanted to end this, I'll narratively finish it. And also, the third one comes your third opponent comes fourth opponent comes charging in. You fire another radiant blast at his chest. And as you loose the bolt, you come charging in after it, and following up the flash of radiant energy, you leap into the air, extending your leg out in front of you, and flying through the air with such force, you slam into the chest the chest of your opponent with your foot first, following the radiant blast. And as he still catches the breath from the blast of arcane energy, your foot comes in with such force to send him flying back 5 feet into the edge of the pit, where he, still conscious, he tries to stand up, but he puts up a hand. I give. And Tassar lets out a large chuckle. You stand confidently, striking a pose, as many of the enforcers stand bloodied and beat around the pit. But all of them do give out a rowdy cheer as Tassar claps. That was incredible. I knew you'd make a great enforcer. Well,
Just using the experience of the last fights.
he turns back to the crowd of like beaten and broken enforcers. Now, all of you, get inside and get yourselves cleaned up. Have a rock on me. Meet us back here in... He looks at a watch, which... What the fuck's a watch? But, meet me back here in half an hour. We will pick up, training from there. Yeah, you do take 15 points of, damage from just the regular cudgel blows. And 2 of your key points have been... that does, whilst the combat was going on, you did see, I mean, not necessarily during your combat because you were a little bit busy, but during B45's combat, you did watch Tassar stand behind the group of enforcers and quite diligently like narrate what B45 was doing. As you can see, B45 is quite the competent fighter, using more than just swings of his weapons to best his foes. Each different maneuver that B45 took on, it seems Tassar not only had a name for it, but is quite proficient in doing it himself. You'd imagine, just from his sheer knowledge of battle. You could kind of hear notes of some of the things you performed in battle. However, much more you heard oohs and ahs coming from Tassar as he watched you flip around the battlefield. Whilst that training is going on, did any of you did any of you those 2 of you within the alchemist's chambers want to do anything?
I did the second roll after the natural one, which is a 14.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out how much can I really even focus on something other than stirring the pot before it's like too much.
You could. It's just like you're just easily distracted by it. You could focus on doing other things. It's just like every time you like do something screw up, it's usually because the pit's distracting you or something, you know?
Okay.
And then yeah, if you guys want to do anything in particular, speak up now, otherwise we go over to Ignacio. Who?
I'm listening.
Okay, yeah. Did you put in chat what your listening was?
Yes, I did. It was
14. Okay.
14.
Um, Ignacio, you, your friends kind of all head off in various directions, either gathered by Sister Lyra or by Brother Tassar at various times. They're the first to be taken out of the dining area. As the hall clears out, you do actually kind of end up being the last individual within the dining hall. It seems to mostly clear out. There seems to be like one other individual eating. Somebody who one of the alchemists who woke up late and kind of rush off to the alchemist's chambers. Sorry, 1 second. It's the only ones left in the dining hall are Sister Otari, who is the large Luxodon woman who runs the kitchen, and Brother Mohad, who, limping around the kitchen gathering up everybody's dishes, gives you a smile and a nod as he passes. You're left with just those two for about 5 minutes before Sister Kira appears in the dining hall, coming down from the hallway from which her room is located. She approaches you. Well, I see everybody has gone about their business already in the day. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, dear. I lose track of time very easily. Now, with your potential as an upcoming keeper, there are a few things I must discuss with you. That is, of course, your responsibilities going forward. We, keepers of our Lady Delora, we have a unique task. She begins to walk with you outside of the ziggurat. She slowly starts to lead you past the fighting pit that the enforcers are currently bloodying around. You walk past. She gives many of the enforcers a smile. You can see many of the enforcers become red face, and one of the ones fighting Bastion, you can tell at the moment, becomes a little bit more invigorated to know Sister Kira is around. As she smiles at the enforcers and gives them a wave as she passes, she continues to talk to you as you guys begin to slowly walk around the Violet Knight compound. You see, one of our biggest goals here as the Keepers is, of course, well, as the name suggests, is to keep the estate. And by also doing so, we keep the goals and the wishes of Our Lady intact. It is the most precious of tasks we hold, and, well, any of us hold here within the compound. Therefore, it is also the most, well, the most dangerous of jobs. Should somebody wish to get to the lady in any sort of way whatsoever, they would have to go through the keepers first. That means you. Are you willing to put your life on the line for Our Lady? She looks at you intently, Ignacio, as she says that.
Well, she saved my crew from an uncertain future in the desert. We're sort of wandering. We didn't know where we were going. We were heading towards something, just we didn't know. Tassar picked us up. You've fed us, you've kept us, you've given us purpose. I see nothing that I've done other than maybe stop a raid. I think I could do more if the lady was willing to take me on.
Yes, I mean, we have no desire to see poor folks starve, wither away in the deserts. We're not evil people, we're just, well, we're people with a goal. Here at the Violet Knight. I've heard...
Sorry.
I've heard... No, what do you have to ask?
I was just gonna say, Sister Carrie, you keep talking about a goal, Lady Delora's goal, her goal, girl this, protect her goal. What is, if you don't mind me asking, the goal?
Our lady, as you stated, she is a giving type. She just wishes to see others happy like herself. She has no desires for ill harm, so long as nobody wishes ill harm against her. She just wishes to see the world bask in, well, joy, to say the least. She gives us all her gift, Viraka, her own creation, and gives it to us free of charge, in fact. We must just devote ourselves to her cause, and that cause being, well, the spread of Viraka. Should one day our goal be met, all of the world will have access to her gift, and all the world will have access to happiness. Does that sound like some sort of ill deed?
Oh, no, if you misunderstood, I wasn't being aloof or anything. I was just curious. I wanted to know exactly what goal so I could be more oriented in what I needed to do for Our Lady Delora. You understand?
I do, and I mean to put no ill intent on you. But there are types out there. Individuals who would call us a cult, a band of ne'er-do-wells, a evil organization that peddles drugs to an unsuspecting populace. But we do not mask ourselves in lies. We just come with a gift. We tell people of what Viraka is, and should they wish to take it, they're inclined. And should they not wish to take more, we do not impose. But we have not found that to be the case. Everybody is quite welcome to our gift, and hence why we've been so well received around the Red Empire. However, there are those who wish to see us ruined. There are those who sort of plague upon existence. You're not one of those, assume.
Not at all, Sister Kira. Oh, please. Just normal?
That's where I'm looking. You rolled a 10 on your check for Constitution, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, roll with disadvantage, please. 16 is your roll with disadvantage? Damn. Okay. Also, while you're at it, also ask perception. While she is quite literally in your face at this moment, she asked that question very pointedly and then stared at you intently.
Oh, I want to see what she's checking me for?
Well, no, just make a general perception check.
Oh, that's better than I would roll.
I'm sorry. Use that. Do you have a medicine skill? Make that a medicine check. So if you have the medicine skill at all, you can add the medicine modifier, but other than that...
No.
Okay, so it's still a
have
12.
medicine skill.
Still a 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not bad. I will say, unlike everybody else's eyes who you've like met, whilst as a liar, you know pretty well to meet people's eyes while you're lying to them. And as you meet her eyes to tell her you mean no ill intent, one thing you do notice is her eyes are not as large and saucer-like as everybody else you've been talking to on this. Everybody else you've been talking to on this compound. That's all I would say. But she continues. She turns back. Oh, that's good. You see, I'd hate to find out we've got a rat in our midst. Or, well, what would it be? 6 rats? That would be bad. So, tell me, Ignacio, who is this entity you carry with?
Oh, something I picked up willy-nilly, snooping where I shouldn't have been. I probably know as much as you do, Lily, Sister Kira.
Do you travel where you shouldn't be very often? Her tone is very serious.
Once. I admit it happened once. Perhaps this time twice.
You understand, being of such power is of notice to Our Lady. She knew something has wandered into our midst the day you arrived here on the compound.
You mean besides the big bear? I thought maybe I would be the least of her troubles.
Darling, what you carry with you is much, much more threatening than a bear. What you carry with you equates much more to 1,000 bears. As big and scary as the one you've brought with me, the one you've brought with you is. She motions across the compound to where, like, you're now quite far away from the pit, walking along the dunes on the outside of the estate, but she motions toward where B-45 was fighting, and now you do see Oberon stepping into the pit.
Can I... fuck. Hold on. Keep going. I need to think of something.
This can be dealt with, you understand. Should you be willing to part ways with this mysterious benefactor of yours, I'm sure Our Lady would happily fill the void that is left.
You speak as if you know of the void. Were you once, or did you ever have? I'm sorry if I sound forward. I'm just curious as to how you know so much, and I seem to be running blind here.
Make a persuasion check.
Normal or at disadvantage?
Normal.
Go.
Well, Our Lady does grant me a certain number of gifts for keeping her the way I do. And should you become a keeper, well, then you too would be granted gifts by Our Lady. However, those gifts would be ill received. Well, I'm sure she would take it as affront to her hospitality, should you, well, already be betrothed to another, you understand. She's tasked me with finding out who it is has brought this foul beast into her abode, and will get rid of it, or them. But I would hate to lose such a loyal follower.
Sister Kira, you hurt me. You would sooner do away with me than work with me?
Quite the opposite, clearly. Hence why I have let you come this far.
Well, you know how engagements are.
Yes, I do. They are hard to break. I will let you sleep on it. But know, should your decision come up undesirable, well, you've been warned as much as I have.
Well, thank you for the time then.
Oh, we are not done. You have all day with me. Well, part of the day. I must, well, teach you the way of observing. And she does continue to walk and talk with you for some time. She does show you around the premises. She, walking around the outside of the dunes with you, shows you the beekeepers. There, a number of keepers currently are tending the bees. And she will tell you, this is one of your tasks, and at a certain point, you too will be pressed with keeping the insects. They should not harm you in time, but that comes with training.
I have a question for you, but much later.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, dear. Nobody but my individuals are listening.
Well, you see, I'm sure you remember when the raiders from over the dunes came to visit, less than amicably, and quite a few, very tragically, rest in peace. Some of the keepers left. I don't know if they left though. They turned into bees. Can you enlighten me on that subject, Sister Kira? I'm very curious.
It is but nothing you should worry about. It's a gift granted by Our Lady. She protects us from death. It's how giving of a lady she is. we will always serve her. You understand? It is a noble cause, so I'm happy to do so. But should something happen, God forbid, you will find everlasting life. Thanks to her.
I see. Well, till then, I'm very happy to be fully myself in not exactly a swarm of insects. You understand?
Yes, let's hope it never comes to that. She walks you around the premises even further. It is your job, and motions to some keepers which are currently like pacing around the fields, to make sure our helpers are helping as they should be, of course. Should they be slacking upon their job, that is where it is a keeper's duty to come inform myself or some other official, should I be missing. However, first and foremost, you are to report to myself. You are to listen to the other superiors around the grounds, but I am in charge of you from here on out. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Well, we must just make sure everybody is doing their part, of course. And as you see, and you watch as one of the workers before heading in walks up to the keeper and receives a bottle of Viraka. And of course, we are to reward those who do their job well. So it is the gift Our Lady bestows. Continues to walk along the outside with you, eventually reaching the mines. This, of course, is where most of our income does come from. Mined from within, we sell the ore off premises, and, well, because of that, we must keep any of the riffraff away. Should you see anybody enter the mines without express permission from somebody higher up, it is your job to let us know. For the time being, you are not to enter the mines. Eventually, you may be tasked to retrieve individuals who enter, but for the time being, till you know the mines well, stay out. She then continues to walk along the outside, eventually reaching where the sand skiff is currently now pushed down off the crest of the dunes, and is currently being dismantled for parts. We currently have a number of helpers working on this as we speak. You can see a number of keepers hold the perimeter toward the outside of the estate, where the compound dunes lie. The skiff currently sits on the outside with a couple of helpers working on it at the moment, and it seems 3 keepers diligently stand on the outside with it enforced, making sure nobody strays.
I think I could get used to the job. I just get to oversee, huh?
Yes. But it is your duty, of course, to see everything. Should something get past your eyes, it is on you. And there are punishments here on the compound. You will know that soon enough. The major task that you are to, of course, ensure, along with the enforcers here, is simply the perimeter. No one is to leave unless given express permission. Your friend, for example, Oberon, I believe his name, he is being watched closely by Brother Caldon. Should he fit the bill, he will be allowed to leave and travel the world spreading Our Lady's gifts. But for the time being, nobody leave. You will be informed on who can come and go, but that will come in time. And she rounds to the back of the ziggurat, where 2 keepers currently stand at the back entrance on the ground floor, and she approaches them. These 2 are stationed here to protect our storage. Should you see anyone, including these 2, try to enter the storage, you are to report to me. They, and anybody else who is seen entering this area, will be dealt with swiftly. She gives both of the 2 guards an eye, a very serious eye as she says that, and you can see one of them gulp. She then rounds to the front side of the pyramid, where you can see Oberon breaking the jaw of one of the enforcers. And you can kind of see Sister Kira wince a second as she passes, kind of like turning away, avoiding seeing the bloody mess. And you guys head back into the ziggurat. However, this time, she ventures upwards toward the first chamber you guys were presented in, where Lady Delora rests. You can see Lady Delora is currently in her throne at the end of the room, with a number of individuals strewn across the room here. There are about 5 or so people in here, all of them kind of in like a sleeping state, almost a stupor, if you will, laid in pillories and either clutching a hookah or an empty vial of Varaka as they lay there around the premises, around the chamber where Lady Delora currently resides. As you enter, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
At disadvantage?
Yes.
But I didn't take the vial?
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't take the vial. Why have I been making you... I'm sorry, that was a... I'm sorry, I asked you if that was a 10 constitution check, and you said yes. I forgot it was a sleight of hand check. You need to tell me a sleight of hand check. You shouldn't have made that. No, you're good. You shouldn't have just made that first.
Well, it went well, despite the.
It did, that deception skill, but however, you got a 19 as your first roll, so I will actually retcon that as if you had gotten a 27.
Hey, neato.
Sorry, you're right. I forgot you did a sleight of hand there.
Yes, I did do the sleight of hand, and I passed. Thank God. So I just walked in there. I already see everything.
You think you passed the sleight of hand. The sleight of hand doesn't have to do with like whether or not you took the Varaka. It just has to do with like whether you hid the fact that you took the Varaka. However, you guys do head into the chamber of Lady Delora. So, what is that wisdom save, if you don't mind? No, yeah, just a plain wisdom save. Oh, actually, no, that's a good point. Sorry, before you enter the chamber, well, let me see.
Technically, I didn't take it.
No, you didn't. However, nobody did say anything. You are right. However, as you enter the chamber, or about to enter the chamber, Lady Kira pulls out 2 vials of Viraka and hands one to you. Do you take it? First off, do you take it from her hand?
Well, could
you do the same thing as last time?
Gonna DM you. I'm gonna do a DM to you.
Why are you DMing this to me?
Because because I want to see if I can do a thing.
Okay, but that's something you should tell the like that's something you should tell the stream so everybody knows you're doing the thing. Like it's not going to change anything if you're DMing me.
Well, it's whether or not I can do it, because if I can't do it, then
I mean,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
do it.
you're always welcome to try. You would still have to like what are you doing though? Like do you take out that and be like I've got my own, or are you trying to switch it out in an instant?
I've got my own and then chug it.
Either way, you're either going to have to roll a deception check if you're doing that, or a sleight of hand check.
I will do a deception for it.
Okay.
Alright, while that's happening, I gotta hop off.
Okay.
Okay.
Super.
No problem. He's
Night,
starting a
guys.
new internship tomorrow, so we understand.
Exciting!
Good luck.
Good luck.
Have a good night, guys.
Good
Good night.
night. So what do?
Sorry. Well, are you what are you doing for the to trick him? Tell me. What is Ignacio doing?
So as she starts to pull mine out, I sort of already know what the idea is, and I'll go, oh no, you see,
Okay.
I got an extra one here. Like, you're very kind
And
to Strixie.
the vials are very particular. So the ones they have. So like you keep it covered.
Yeah, like I do. Have you
so
ever
I
seen
will take a deception or sleight of hand check from you. Yeah, either or. You.
At normal, right?
Yes, at normal.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes I may be good, sometimes I may be shit. I actually just saw the original video for that. That was at a press conference. That was a press conference. Like I thought it was just something recorded. No, it was somebody at a press conference. Like of all things. Sorry. So what was the roll? Deception?
19.
19? Okay. She takes a nod and what's your passive perception, Ignacio?
Passive, where is that? Where would I see passive perception?
It's 10 plus your what you would add to perception. So when you would make a perception. 10 base, and then what you would normally add.
10.
Oh, so it's a 10.
Yeah.
Well, she rolled a natural 1, so you do watch as she pretends to take her Baraka.
She fucking knows!
She actually, the reason you catch her so easily is you earlier today had just done the same trick, where you had made a fake vial of Viraka appear in your hand and had switched it out with the real one. The moment you can see no liquid comes from that fake bottle of Viraka as she holds it in her palm and dips it and tips it back. You watch. She does not seem to be taking the Viraka.
I won't say a fucking thing. Me as a player, holy shit. Ignacio sees but does not say a fucking word.
Okay. You guys enter the room. Go ahead and make that wisdom saving throw if you haven't already. I made you make it already.
No, you have not.
No, so go ahead and roll it at normal since you haven't touched Viraka all day.
Saving throw. Normal.
How long has it been?
There you go. I got an 11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not very wise.
So I'm going to take this dab here.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you been drinking water though?
Do you dab?
Mm,
I need water.
I've been getting those hydration. Mm,
Yeah, Quest.
yeah. And not the bong water. We've talked about
water.
this. No, we've talked about this. We've talked about. I just had a Disney Plus ad on your stream.
That's funny. Disney Plus isn't.
Well, a great way to avoid the ads is by subscribing to the channel, so go ahead and do that if you haven't already.
Oh, I need to resubscribe. You're right. It's a new month.
Thank you for reminding me. So you rolled an 11.
Drink your water, Chris!
If it's an 11, you fail.
Oh, well.
So you do see for the first time beautiful Lady Delora.
Oh shit.
This is the first time, right? You didn't see it last time.
No, I didn't. Well, first time.
Bailey, stop.
This time.
Cage.
I still remember what she looks like, right? The like
Why would you charge
nasty.
into your cage? Bailey. Sorry, let me deal with it.
Okay.
Oh, the dog outside, just like looking at her. Confused.
Looking at her wrong.
No, she's like the dog keeps hearing Bailey bark, and then looking at the house like, where's that bark coming from? Hey, quiet. Come here. Relax.
Are you snacking?
Hey.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to mute.
No, it's okay.
It's almost gone. There's nothing to show you.
No, it's okay.
So, sorry about
I'm
her.
just hungry.
She
Okay.
gets rowdy. Nonetheless.
Shakira gets rowdy?
No,
Damn.
no.
Okay.
No, this little mutt gets rowdy.
Get into it, Sister
Right?
Kiara. Get
right.
into it. Just sacrifice another plush toy and they'll be fine.
Okay, so I'll sit with my dog. No. Don't bork. No bork.
Bork. She didn't bork. She just went brrr.
Nonetheless, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, maybe hydrate, Chris.
Make a
Yeah, Chris.
make a.
Mhm.
That's why I coughed.
No, because I was gonna
Because
make
we
a joke.
pay for it.
Well, not only that, but hydrate because I'm sure your throat is drier than the sands of Karev or Rakesh. Sorry.
Hey,
Ayo.
referencing my D&D world, you get an inspiration.
Really? Oh,
Shit.
shit.
I'm tempted.
She needs it.
But you actually, as you enter the room, you see the beautiful image of Lady Delora, standing at about 8 feet tall. She is quite imposing, even as she sits at the end of the room. But her beautiful, exposed, slightly tanned skin kind of attracts you in almost innately, as she just. Wafting from her comes this scent of just intoxicating sweetness, which just makes you drift mindless as you enter Lady Kira. Lady Kira stands confident as she approaches. Many of the individuals along the sides, kind of like the 5 individuals kind of strewn across the room, half out of it at the moment. Each of them kind of like come alive and awake briefly as Lady Kira enters the room, as it seems her beauty is not missed among many of the cultists here as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to edit stream here real quick so you can at least see my face.
It's cool.
But you guys enter, and Lady Delora sits up, intrigued by those who have just entered her room here. As you guys stride forward, she stands up, which really makes her form quite imposing. And you are almost in awe as you approach her. And she takes a few steps forward, down from her lifted stage, where her throne sits, and she addresses. Hello, lady. I'm sorry, Lady Kira. Sister Kira. Hello, Sister Kira. I see you have brought me my latest acquisition. A loyal subject, I'd hope. Yes. Yes, Lady Kira. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. Lady Delora. Yes, Lady Delora. Our latest recruit, Ignacio here. I have been showing around the premises, as well as going over her new tasks. And, well, she has been eager to meet you. What were you saying, Foggy?
You said her tasks. I thought it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. His tasks. My bad. I also got Lady Delora's name mixed up. Okay.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to help.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. But she then looks you over, Lady Delora, and her eyes upon you. Yes, that sends a shiver up your spine. Tell me, are you ready to devote yourself to me and my cause?
Lady Delora, while I am especially excited for the cause, you understand.
Lady Kira chimes in front of you. I think he is quite imposed by your beauty at the moment, of course. We have talked, and he's expressed his innate desire to serve your every whim, but I'm sure he's just nervous now. And she shoots you a look.
Oh, very, very nervous. I can't keep my hands still, you see.
I think, but spending time in your presence, our beautiful lady, will make his decision so much easier. Well, of course. Please have a seat at my side. Tend to me as I see fit. And, well, my gifts are, of course, yours. She reaches out and gently strokes your face. She turns about.
I'm not leaning out. I'm not leaning out. I'm not leaning in. I'm just kind of standing there like, oh, okay.
She takes a stride back toward her throne and takes the seat. Next to her, you do see there is a table filled with very fresh fruits. Some more rotten, set toward the back, kind of pushed aside to a bowl behind her, but many of the fresh ones at the front for display. And she picks a grape from them and rests it upon her lips. She gestures for you to sit aside, and Sister Kira turns to you. Well, it is an honor to sit amongst our ladies. We should gratefully receive that honor. And you watch as Lady Kira strides a front and sits on one side, as I assume the other.
Before I go up to Lady Delora, I will do a great big bow. I will take my hat off in respect of, in her presence. And I will sit behind Sister Kira because I am obviously not at her level. So I don't get to sit next to her. I'm behind her.
You got it. You do so. And very little is said to you. Very little is said within this room. You do watch as a cultist or two will come in throughout the day, make themselves known to the room, walk up, praise Lady Delora in front of her. she'll usually like reach out an arm for them to kiss her ring. They'll either like scurry to her feet and kiss her toes, like some
Yeah.
some serious devotion to her.
Yeah.
And then they will go grab a spot around the room. While you experience some of the revelry below when they're relaxing, it seems some cultists come up here and just hang out in the presence of Lady Delora. And when they do, you can see that like they'll consume hookah, Godsbeard, something, wine around the room, and basically pass out in bliss.
Oh, cool.
And that's what like a number of people do around here.
So, as I'm sitting there, can I cast Detect Magic and just look around the room?
Well, yeah, it's not so much casting it for you as you can do it innately with your eyes. But you do have to focus and closing your eyes to look upon the threads of magic throughout the room. You open them once more with a shimmer of silvery light across your pupils, and as you see the room, Lady Kira is aglow in a number of magical artifacts. It seems she carries also one of those black masks, which you can see is tucked within her belt behind her, so it's like just basically staring you in the face. She has one of those keeper black masks. It is magical. She does also have a magical set of robes. She also is sitting next to a shining beacon of illusionary magic. Next to her, of course, Lady Delora. And that's most of the magical items you can see around the room. That's about it. There is a magical ward, however, right here you would actually see as well. On the threshold. The threshold, so if Gargax were here, that would mean passing the threshold in general. The threshold would set off the trap.
Wait, hold on. I can't see like everything.
Oh, here. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, of course. Here. I'm sorry. Let me move you where your character is, of course. My bad. I had just gotten something for this. Let me see if it's functioning. How do I do? I just got a module for Foundry, which is cool. Foundry, if you can hear me, sponsor us because we like you. Oh, I can force snap to grid now. That's cool. I can like hit a button and force you all to snap to grid.
Ooh, nice.
Update to the toggle snap to grid mod, which is another cool mod I have. But yeah, I just got a stair mod specifically for this map. That should, like, when you click on the stairs, it should take you to the next level. But I can't find where that is, and I'll have to do... Oh, I have to activate it. Silly me. My bad.
It's cool. Don't you worry.
Stairways teleporter. There we go.
Don't you worry.
Did it just kick you guys out?
Ooh.
Anyway, you will know that between Lady Delora's sitting room and the Grand Hall, there is an alarm threshold. Some sort of arcane runes which line the framing of the doorway itself. And they glow with a magical energy. The color of abjuration. And for sake of time, and to be honest, with your background, you would recognize an alarm threshold as they're commonplace in Karev to protect valuable stuff. But other than that, you don't see anything magical.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and of course, any Viraka you see is magical. You would know. that would be that. Avery, as you sit stirring the pot, over the course of the second hour, you do hear some reference to adding this and that. You can't really make out the ingredients. You're not familiar with any of the terminology used, but you do hear him instruct vehemently to a group of alchemists that this is crucial that the solution that they make be stable. Otherwise, when it reacts with the secret ingredient later, when you hear Emus say this, of course, Brother Emus, you hear him say, "It's crucial that this be entirely stable. Otherwise, when I mix it with the secret ingredient later, I will go up in flames if it's not perfectly aligned." You hear this, of course, in a hushed whisper, but to like a set of alchemists, but you do manage to overhear that. And afterwards, you do also notice Hoffs does go into a trance for a short time before before you see him, come out of it. After a few moments fidgeting with something, he does approach you once given the chance at an opportunity for you to switch roles with a fellow alchemist. He approaches you and whispering to you, he goes, my familiar just saw people come to the room. They came and took Kaladin's stuff. I'm not sure what that means.
Were we sort of swapped out? Were we dismissed? Take a break?
You are currently dismissed to take a break. Yes, correct. I'm sorry. It seems that a sort of arcane whistle is blown. You literally are not sure where the sound comes from, but you do hear a high-pitched whistle, and after Kaladin does shout around the room, "All right, those of you on the vats, do go." What did I say, Amos?
You said Kaladin. And I was like, ain't he dead?
I said Kaladin? Really?
Kaladin. I was like,
Jesus. You hear Emus go, all right, everybody do take a break. Those of you on the vats, hurry back, grab some food. You will be hitting the tables next. But he sends you along your way.
I'll walk out with Hoffs and I'll be like, I mean, it's not concerning unless, did they only get Kaladin's stuff?
Yeah, they just came in and took Kaladin's stuff. I don't know. It was a couple of enforcers. They were instructed by Brother Tassar.
I don't think we should worry about it.
I mean,
I don't think it's our business.
I just worry about Kaladin. I can't imagine that's good news.
We can go visit him presently if you'd like. I don't know where they keep the ill, but
I wouldn't know as well.
Let's stop one of the alchemists as they're walking out, right?
Yeah, you can stop another alchemist. You actually
Yeah.
I was going to say you actually stop Sister Lyra, who is amongst the crowd that's dismissed with you.
Hey, question.
Yes, of course. What's the matter?
Do you know where they took Kaladin and the other ill people yesterday? I'd like to help in healing them.
That's an alarmingly good question, actually. From what I understand, most illnesses are handled by, if not one of the alchemists helping you out, the keepers will take care of you. I assume they're working on him in their chambers.
In the keeper's chambers?
That's what I imagine. It's a small ziggurat. I couldn't imagine where else they take them.
Could you lead us to where you think?
Yeah, I mean, she's like, of course, it's right where we live. She'll lead you outside.
Still a bit turned around.
Yeah, she'll lead you outside into the recruits area where, of course, you would know the keeper's hallway is.
I would.
Oh wait, you're not there, Soggy. Let me move you where
They're
you should
not
be.
there.
What are you doing, Ignacio? Yeah, sorry, I focused on the stairway thing and never actually
two
did
little
that.
boys and a woman.
Yeah, it's okay. I knew you would get to it eventually.
Yes.
So I'm just hanging out with Big Red Lady. Got it.
Yeah. Sister Lyra will take you outside the recruits room.
Gorgeous woman like that.
Why? What did you wish to do?
I have healing magics.
I imagine the keepers are using theirs.
I mean, yeah, but I don't see why I couldn't help expedite the healing process.
Okay, I'll leave you to this, she says. I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat. And she runs off upstairs.
Thank you!
In the commons area and training hall here, you will see there is a cultist at the end of the room over here.
I'll, wave. And this is stairs, yeah?
Yeah, there are, a small set of stairs, very small. It's just,
over.
brings you down, a half level.
And then...
But it's of never... You just... Okay.
Just go.
Ow,
my feet.
You get no answer.
I'll never learn.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Are there other keepers in the chambers?
In the chamber you're at?
Yes.
In here there is no, not currently, not since Sister Kira entered, at least. There is a keeper at the door, though. You will know in the hallway. You passed him when you entered.
Okay.
And their mask also glows, I will say.
I figured. They have it on?
They do.
Okay.
No response?
No response, no.
Is there a door handle I can jiggle?
There is a door handle. It is locked.
Oh. Kaladin! Kaladin, I'm here to visit! I put my ear up against the door.
You do not hear anything come from within. Actually, I guess make a perception check.
Answer my question, Chris. Did we eat people this morning? Oh. Fuck.
You hear groaning.
No, I didn't say what I rolled yet. Where'd my character sheet go? Actually. What? Okay. How about 12?
You hear nothing inside.
I'll go back into the hall. I see the cultist dude. I walk up to the cultist dude.
Hoffs is just standing at the end of this hallway, just so you know.
That's fine.
Did you actually want him to come in with the keepers? Would you have wanted him to?
I would want him to follow, but if I can't get in, it doesn't matter.
Well, then he would have followed down the hallway, at least, and then he saw you, start fidgeting with the door handle, so he kind of rounded the corner and has just been standing here. Borderline whistling. Every instinct in his body tells him to whistle.
Okay, just trying to make suggestions.
No, you're fine. I'm aware. I have the ability. Hi, and I'll walk up to the gentleman. Hi.
He looks up from his drink. Hi.
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 Can you help me?
What?
I want to help my friend who's injured, and I hear they're keeping him in the keeper's
Well,
Keeper's chambers.
oh,
But it's
okay.
locked. Who do I get to open it?
Are you mad?
No.
Don't go snooping in the keeper's chambers. That's
That's why I knocked on the door.
one-way
No one
ticket
answered.
to punishment. What do you?
Well, then where are the injured people? I want to help my friend.
I assume being taken care of by the keepers. I don't
That's
handle
what
that.
I heard from someone else too. That's why I'm asking. Well, where are the keepers?
About
Right now, presently. Can I find one?
always.
But there's not one right here.
There's not one in the room currently, but you do hear footsteps just out in the hallway. Up the stairway here.
What's up here?
That leads to where you came from.
Oh,
The alchemy, the level above.
I was there. Just kidding. I didn't ask that question. Who? Shit. Oh well. Okay, House, let's go get something to eat. And I'll walk.
Hoff's just like waves awkwardly to the guy. Hey, and then like walks by. Okay, so you go eat?
Go eat.
That is what you're going to do? Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. In
Do I
that.
see a keeper in the non-cafeteria?
As soon as you start to walk up these stairs, there's a keeper like at the top of the stairs looking down the hallway at you.
Oh my god, perfect. Hi! I'll go up to them.
They just kind of keep looking at you, not saying a word.
Hi. Do you... I hear Kaladin's injured and that he's in the keeper's chamber. Maybe, because you guys take care of people in there. Can I go in and I want to help?
You hear a very sweet, soft voice come from behind the mask. You do not need to worry about Brother Kaladin.
But I thought he was injured yesterday, and that's why he didn't sleep last night.
He was injured in battle, and the keepers are taking care of him. Your concern is noted, and we will pass it on to Brother Kaladin. Here, have a viraka.
Oh, thank you.
Ease your nerves. And you watch as their pillow flips over, and on the other side there's a viraka waiting.
I take it. Okay.
Do you drink it?
Well, yeah, I drink my half. Give it a half, Joseph.
Make the check.
But wish this dice stop my Legos. No. What is that? That's awful. 5.
5. Okay, you really feel the effects of viraka wash over you.
Okay.
You become giddy and excited, a little bit at ease as well, and very susceptible. But you got a warm feeling in your body. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No. Thank you. If Kaladin wants company, I will visit him. Tell him to tell you guys to tell me to tell him that
You need not worry of Brother Kaladin. And they go drift away.
How's lunch? I have munchies.
Lunch is as sweet and chewy as ever.
Is it people?
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
You fucker.
No, I'm just kidding. Make a general make a perception check though. Well, no, fuck you.
Is it a disadvantage?
Yeah, make a perception check at disadvantage.
I want to know if I'm eating people. Fuck, they're both 2s. So 1 second.
It's very
5.
It's very sweet and pretty good. It's good actually. You like it a lot. You eat it all.
Nice.
That's
a lot. I'm full.
Yes. Whilst you Oberon, after you swipe the floor with all those people you did. Many of them go in to eat. Many bring you a drink in sign of solidarity, and mostly so you don't beat the shit out of them more. But you are also left to your devices. I'd say around the same time, about 2 hours pass. For about everybody. And you are all given that break around the same time, just so you know. So coming up to the dining room, you would most likely see Oberon, as well as Fume, Bastion, and Ignacio. Since our numbers have dwindled and it's nearing 9 o'clock, I think now is as good a time to end it there. If there's anything else you guys want to do, though, speak up now or forever hold your peace.
Is it people?
Eat and heal.
Yep. You can definitely spend your hit points. Or your hit die.
Amulet of the Glutton.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Even better.
Eat a meal, and it's 4d4 plus 4.
Yes, sir.
44.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so 4,
That's
8,
48.
11.
4d4.
11.
4t4.
Yes, we're saying the same thing.
8, 11,
No, we're not.
12, 13, plus 4, so 17. Which will be a 25, so I'm back to full. After eating and then spending time meditating.
Okay.
My key points back, because it only takes 30 minutes.
You guys, 30 minutes. It should take an hour.
Is it an hour?
Yeah. I'm giving you guys a full hour break. So you will have time to get your key points back. But yeah, a short break, a short rest is an hour, at least.
Is Bastion healed up and or not?
No, you must spend at least 30 minutes of rest, meditating to regain your key points.
Yes, so you still have to complete the full rest. I see what you mean, though. Yeah, you only have to spend 30 minutes of it meditating. Yes. Sorry, I misconfused. I thought you still need to take a half hour or a full hour to do the break. Yeah. And the key points come back specifically at the end of that hour. Nonetheless, if there's nothing else we'll pick up next week. All of you will be together on this break. You guys could finish out the day or maybe hatch a plan. I don't know what you guys are planning. It's still stay tuned. You guys so far have just made friends within this cult, which was not the objective.
What are you talking about?
But that's part of the fun. So
we're cannibals now.
Tune in next time to see if they take down this drug peddling cult or if they just continue to spread its goal until it takes over the Rakesh.
Walking Dead?
It'd be really funny. Hey, maybe that's the campaign now. Maybe Rakesh just gets taken over by the Violent Knight. Who knows?
This is a dairy, not a ranch.
Charging into a cult is not a good idea at level 2.
No, you guys aren't charging in. You're supposed to take it in from inside.
What are you talking about? I'm developing an addiction.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
I blame Chris because he makes his characters really cool. I blame him.
I blame Chris because he keeps bringing up the same NPCs, so I'm developing a connection to them. How about them apples?
Bastion and myself just beat up a bunch of their enforcers, so
yeah, you just got street cred.
Okay, I will say, cool that we can beat up the humans. We have to figure out the keepers. I think that's
you're right. We should beat up the humans.
Beat up the humans.
Yeah,
figure out what to do with the keepers.
We can
turn into bees, guys.
We can then force. We're eating people. Are you not concerned about this? We're eating potentially our fellow.
I don't think we're eating
humans. Sorry,
until proven otherwise. Until proven otherwise, I don't think we're eating people.
Until proven otherwise, I think we're eating people.
So it doesn't matter.
It's not cannibalism for you. It's
cannibalism for me. It doesn't matter.
That's terrible.
So what? If they served bear, now it's your problem?
I've never thought about the implications of cannibalism on a beast folk. Why it's never like really dawned on me, but yeah, that's a good point.
Isn't
would
it
they
like the whole
care?
Pokemon thing where it's like the Pokemon care if you get other Pokemon?
Kinda, yeah. Why would they care?
Why would they care?
I don't know. I feel like culturally I feel like they would care, like depending on like what
It's
culture you
their
grew up in.
cousin, I guess.
No, not even that. Like if you grew up in human, like if you were, I guess Kush didn't actually grow up in human society. If you were like Makit,
eat people.
if you were like Makit, it would be like your house cat eating people. You know what I mean? Like
If Makit had a house cat, is that slavery or is it still keeping a pet?
But
what if you kept a monkey?
I said cat. Where did the monkey come from?
No,
It's a less evolved form of tabaxi.
Oh,
monkey.
A
I said
monkey.
cat.
Yeah,
Wait, I thought
you just
tabaxi-
said. He said, yeah, that's what she just said. What if Makit kept a cat? Would that be slavery? And then I said, what if you kept a monkey?
Oh.
Yeah,
I
if a human kept a
suppose.
monkey, it would be a less evolved,
Yeah, less evolved.
and it would
yeah.
be.
Well, that
I mean,
depends.
it's not like
Is it like a lad?
Australopithecus, okay? It's not that crazy. I mean, I suppose then it's the same thing. Yeah.
It would be the same.
Why are we eating
It's like how
people?
Goofy. It's like how Goofy can take care of Pluto.
Yeah. What is with that?
Well, does that mean that your familiars are slaves, basically?
I mean, familiars.
That
are
one is
soul
actually a
bonded.
little bit closer.
That's a little closer to thing. Yeah. No, the familiars are soul bonded. We don't know if it's like a good kind of soul bond or a bad kind of soul bond.
Speaking of soul bond, I need to talk to my genie about shit.
And I will say, like, you can say your familiar, like, part of finding a familiar is finding a familiar that will work with you. So technically, it doesn't have to be slave. It's just a partnership.
It's a consensual.
It's an alliance.
It can be a slave thing if, like, that's part of your
I mean,
story.
if
Like,
you're
it
an asshole to your
definitely can
familiar.
be. Like, you're not wrong. It could be. Yeah, if you're an asshole, if you're a bad wizard.
Someone be a dick to their familiar though. I've
Yeah,
seen them be
who the
sorry,
fuck
they're
would
pretty-
want to be? Like, right? I don't think I've never really like had a player who's just like, I'm gonna send my familiar in. If it dies, it dies. I mean, like at heart they
Or,
kind of
like,
are,
they'll
but
do
they
that,
still don't even
but they'll
say
feel
that.
bad
Yeah,
about it.
exactly. Like most
They'll be
people
like,
would be like, oh,
be
damn
careful.
it died. To be fair, that was different.
30 cool again.
Yeah, exactly. Except for druids who don't even have to expend that. They just have to spend a wild shape. Which like I'm not gonna complain because it's a fucking druid.
Yeah.
They deserve a familiar.
But I didn't like my cat dying.
No,
No one likes their familiar dying.
That's so. Speaking of which, tune in to tomorrow's
Savory?
game where everybody has a fucking pet for some reason because it's fucking Pokemon
Like,
Go, I
actually?
guess. Yeah, like literally everybody. Like,
Oh my god, I could have started with a pet.
So
My Avery's
yeah.
so low.
So
in weight.
Durenia has Icarus, who is her eagle / wildfire companion. So that would make sense. There's Grovekeeper, who has Peepers, who is his raven, who's his familiar. So that one pretty much makes sense. There is Hogs, who has his I'm flicking it off the camera. There's Hogs, who has
Yep, you are.
his pet
rat.
rat, which he
Hurry
keeps
up.
in his pocket, which is technically a pet. I mean, he doesn't do much except like pull it out while it's biting his finger. I say that,
Is
but
that a
actually
pet?
it kind of actually
Or
got.
did he-
I'm not gonna lie to you. Their rat is what got them through the last dungeon, technically. So
Scabbers? Is it a
technically it
person?
saved the
Is
day.
a person as a rat
Because the
hiding from their misdeeds.
no, but Guy has his dog, which brings me to the point I was bringing it up to begin with, is because Guy, the only person who doesn't have like some, I guess except the rat, who doesn't have some sort of magical connection to his familiar, he just has a dog. Guy, like I came to this like consensus with him before the session started. I'm like, before the game started, I'm like, you're gonna make me kill a dog? He's like, no, my whole thing is like, as soon as combat starts, I send him into the woods. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, good.
I will make you kill a kid.
I didn't want to.
I will.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But like that
Looks
was.
at Bailey.
Yeah, that exactly. That's what I said. So like my whole thing was, I'm like, as long as I don't have to kill the dog, we're happy. But then like first combat into the dungeon,
But fuck
he's
that
like,
rat.
he's like, Patty, go attack, and I'm like, dude.
Oh
I gotta
Is it
kill
a
the
dog
now.
Is it a dog or is it a mastiff? Or is it a hellhound?
No, it's just a dog. It's just a
Oh,
hunting
that's
dog.
even worse.
Yeah, it's like a hunting herding dog. It's like
One day I'm gonna convince you to let me have hellhound.
and that's why as soon as he did it, his entire party's like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I'm over here like, "We made an agreement," but
we
like,
look on the site. Does the dog die in this campaign? I hope not.
I hope not.
so he yeah, like I had to roll against the dog, and luckily the thing missed. But I'm like, this is on you, Pasta, if this thing kills it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, all of them have pets. Even Cruz, who just reached level 3 as his warlock, got his familiar at level 3.
Is he being called? Is he being called a witch? Tell me someone's being called a witch.
No, he's being called Hot Boy. Because like, well, one, he's the charisma based character, and two, he has like
a hot boy.
a drawing of he has a drawing of his character that's just a hot boy. So like he's like striking the pose like this and everything.
Oh, like he's supposed to be an Abercrombie and Finch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he photoshopped in the photo of his dragon, and so it's still just like him doing this, but then there's the dragon over his shoulder, and it's really perfect.
So cute.
His pseudo dragon. Yeah, it is really cute. It's really funny. But yeah, now all of them have pets.
Great.
So tomorrow's Pokemon Go, if you guys want to tune in, we'll be playing Pokemon Go at 7 p.m. It's a D&D campaign called Woes of the Wildland, but I guess since everybody has pets.
It's Pokemon Go if you let them catch more pets.
Oh, and then actually Stick6 even now at 3rd level, the last one who doesn't have a pet. Technically, he's an artillerist.
And he has a moving dog.
Yeah, so, well, it's not a moving dog. It's a gun that he has, like, little chicken legs for. But,
KJ?
yeah, it's the same thing, you know? It's still a pet that, like, I'm gonna have to deal with. So, like, so at first...
Are you ready to leverage all of those pets against them in the future? Are you excited to?
Yeah, I'm just gonna kill off their familiars somehow. How's that gonna work?
Just kidnap their from
the astral plane
familiars.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Just take the non-familiar familiars, absolutely.
We'll make it work. I'll kill him somehow.
I could have had a familiar, and then I went, nah.
Yeah.
I will say we have a catastrophe in the works. A random custom encounter. And
You do. The catastrophe.
And you hydrating, bitch!
Yes. Thank you, Marinus, for the links in chat there. We will go ahead and wrap up the stream now. Thank you for listening to us ramble to finish out that 9 o'clock. I will be going to the stream ending soon page where you will see all the socials, and we will be rating someone. Do not worry. But thanks for tuning in, and good night.
Good night.
Peace.
I realize